So, what's really cool is I'm here right now in Ottawa, Canada, the day after one of the most amazing events that I've ever really participated in. I found out about Nation Rising last year when my dear friend Sailesh Rao was seen projecting the entire story of the calamities of our climate crisis. He was talking about Vegan World 2026, and the message was so clear. And I didn't know that the man behind this camera right here, Ray, was the one that actually did all that recording, right? I found that out when I was here this year. But Nation Rising is a powerful platform to really get the Canadian government to pay attention. Last year was their very first one. This year it was raining, it was cold, and even in spite of all that, people were excited. And we marched all the way to Parliament Hill. I even spoke in French. Kidding. But anyway, this lady right here is Jenny Henry, and Jenny is the founder of Nation Rising. And Jenny, if you would, I just want to thank you, number one, for the work you're doing.
Thank you for coming and being a part of it.
I mean, your activism is so tireless. You got a very youthful spirit. I saw you in a bikini on your profile. I thought, oh my God, this girl looks 13. But I'm serious. And so I was like, wow, look at this girl. I mean, your energy, your enthusiasm, your vitality, the way you just marched through this whole crowd yesterday. You could tell you were leading. People were looking up to you. You were inspiring others. And, I think it's real important that women in this movement support each other and tell each other just how impactful we are.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you.
We're making a difference.
Yes.
To be around people like y'all. And this is Louise Jorgensen.
Yeah.
You primarily work with the SAVE movement, correct?
I do. I primarily work with the SAVE movement, and I've been with them since 2011. Starting with helping to organize vigils at the pig slaughterhouse, and then we expanded to the cow and the chicken slaughterhouse. And then from the beginning, I've been doing graphics because I'm a graphic artist by trade. So I made all the placards for the vigils, and now I continue to do that for ones around the world.
Around the world?
Around the world. So a lot of the times you see people around the world that save vigils holding signs, they're ones that I've designed.
So okay, I'm going to get back to this in just a second, because I want to switch gears just for a minute, because I really didn't even know that you were going to be here. When I met you, I was like, oh, that's the girl I collaborated with a year ago.
Yeah. I forget what we were doing, but it was...
I think it was my calendar.
The calendar. It was the calendar.
Yeah, it was our first time to ever do a calendar.
I did the graphic for that.
And you did the graphic for the SAVE movement, and they were one of our sponsors. And so, that's how I started talking to you. Right. Anita turned me on to talking to you.
Yes.
And this lady here, I never really met you.
No, we've never met before.
Until I came here. And so tell us how... I want to know how Nation Rising happened. How did you come up with this idea? How did it take off so quickly? How did you manage to get press conferences in Parliament Hill, this weekend? What went behind this?
So the idea first started, it was like, how do we tackle this massive industry, right? Animal agriculture is this massive industry with so much money behind it, and at the same time it's causing so much damage and for our health, for the planet, and for animals as well. So it's like, how can we tackle this? Well, if it's impacting all of these different people in all these different ways, and if we can get all those people who care about those issues working together, then we can actually, we can demand change, and we can actually achieve something. So it seemed like it was something that was both attainable if we have specific demands and we focus on those specific things. So it was attainable, and also if we could achieve it, it would have massive impacts for the animals, for our health, for all of and for the environment. So that was like, okay, we got to do this. Let's focus on doing this. So the idea came a long time ago, and then it was actually Ben. It's funny. Ben posted on Facebook and said, you know what, we should have a march on Parliament Hill. And I was like, actually I private messaged him and I'm like, actually I've been working on something, and he jokes and he says, I sent him this 3-page proposal for like a revolution, basically, like, here's how it's going to go down.
Something you wrote? Was it the demands?
Something I wrote. It was the demands. It was like how we're going to do it, why we need to do it, and what it might look like, basically.
So you just went home one day and said, I'm just going to write out the demands of Parliament right now.
Yes, this is what we want. I don't know. I don't know much more than like how it sort of started to brew, and then it became like let's plan this out, let's actually do this, and then I was sort of playing with the idea. I wasn't sure if it was actually going to come to fruition. I was looking for website ideas and looking for the perfect name, Nation Rising, and so that got stalled because I didn't have the website. And then when Ben said that, it sort of sparked it and said, okay, let's actually take the next step and make it actually happen. So I'm grateful for him for doing that. And then Darlene came on board, and Darlene is like amazing. She's this project manager who's like, this all needs to get done. She took care of getting the press conference. Like, that was her. Her and her husband get all the signs there. They make sure everything gets to Parliament Hill, and they take care of everything locally, like planning the march route and all that kind of stuff. Darlene and Ben, I mean, the two of them, the three of us together are a team, and we've accomplished that in the 2 years. So I'm very grateful to them for all they do.
Now, how did you manage to get Ray, who's behind the camera, last year to video all of this amazing content and do the edits? I mean, how did he come into the picture? Because it was awesome.
Yeah, it was incredible. Ray's an incredibly talented videographer, and he does a lot of animal rights stuff for us. And so he was really excited about Nation Rising and wanted to be a part of it. And of course, we're like, if we can get Ray here filming it, then we're going to have a really powerful video that we can then share out afterwards and hopefully inspire other people to come to this year's event. And we're hoping to do the same thing this year.
Well, that's what did it for me. I mean, I saw Sailesh on Parliament Hill giving his speech, and I was like, what the heck?
Yes.
What's going on here, man? I was all over it. Especially since it was all about ending animal ag subsidies.
Yeah.
Because it was about the time that I was, really pushing rancher advocacy program out into the world. And I was thinking, yes, the government needs to take care of these problems that we're having with the farmers. Why am I doing this? It's kind of like here in Kaya yesterday, right?
Yes.
Why is an 11-year-old up here on Parliament Hill, trying to get you freaking grown-ups out here to grow up, and pay attention?
That was amazing.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's true too. It's
and
true.
I felt the same way. When I saw this, I'm like, why am I, a nonprofit here trying to beg for money to help farmers transition? Our government should be paying for this, y'all, right?
Exactly.
And that's what y'all are doing.
Yeah, we're asking the government to do it because the government is responsible for looking out for the best interests of people. Right now, they're funding industries that are killing us. So, I mean, it's their responsibility to shift those subsidies. If they're saying that we have to eat, in Canada, right, the food guide just got updated this year to say to eliminate dairy as a food group entirely and recommend plant-based sources of protein, right? So now the government is spending our tax dollars to fund an industry that they're actually telling us not to consume those products.
Which is what they're always doing.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make any sense.
Crazy.
Yeah, they're always telling us to do one thing while they do another.
Yes.
It's like driving me crazy. So let's shift for a minute and go over here to the lovely, beautiful Louise. Louise, I just love you.
Oh, I love you too.
Your energy is so freaking powerful, and your presence, though very soft, do not let that deceive you. This woman is freaking amazing, because what you're doing for the Save movement. I was just talking to you earlier before we started the recording, and you said you met Anita Kreitz before the Save movement was ever a thing.
Oh, yeah.
So tell us about that.
Yeah, so it was 2011. My son and I decided to do some activism, where we were trying to find activism in Toronto, and there was basically nothing happening. So we found out there was a PETA protest happening at the pig slaughterhouse, and we decided to go down. And that's when I found out actually about the slaughterhouse being there. And I met Anita there because she was there as well. And she told me she was starting a group called Toronto Pig Save to do something about this slaughterhouse in downtown Toronto. So my son and I went to the first vigil in June 2011.
You were at the first vigil ever?
Ever, yes, ever. Yeah, and I've been every single week ever since. And
And when I asked you a while ago, what do you do for SAVE? What was your answer?
Everything.
10,000 things?
Yeah,
I have 10,000 things?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I do so much, but I mean, obviously, I go to the vigils still every week, and I organize the Toronto Cow Save vigils, and I'm a graphic artist by trade, so I do all or most of the graphics. We have other ones on board now too, other graphic artists, but I do a lot of them, and I did them all in the beginning, and I do them for Nation Rising. And
is that why you're here with Nation Rising? Is because of your contributions with graphic
well,
art?
Part of it, yeah.
So how does this correlate?
Well,
how
we're
are
good
you?
friends, anyways. But,
Okay, you're
We're
friends.
both animal rights activists.
Yeah.
We're both involved in the SAVE movement, and
Yes.
Louise is always helping with anything graphic design related, and she's always
Really?
supporting everything, all kinds of activism. So,
Yeah.
And we were great friends.
Yes.
So were you here last year?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yes.
you were at the first one.
I was at the first one.
So in your opinion then, since you were here last year, how does it feel this year compared to last year?
I think it had more energy this year. The weather was not good this year. It was very cold and we were soaking wet, but we were determined and we were loud. Oh my God, we were so loud.
That's because I was here. No, I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
that's because you were here, exactly.
Let's get rowdy. Let's go live, right?
I think we were heard. We were definitely heard. So thank you for that. You have to come back next year.
No, your energy is amazing.
We had so much fun.
So much fun.
You know, going live in the green door.
Yes.
We went to the green
Yes.
door a couple times.
And a little dancing afterwards.
Yeah, we went dancing last night.
We went dancing at this place next door, you know. I mean, I was just like, yeah, you, right? When that took me all night
Oh yeah,
long.
you were giving her.
Should we get the video? Should we show the video?
Show the video. No. We will give Ryuji that video. Ryuji, wait till you see this video. In fact, that reminds me, y'all, who are we? Who are we?
Nation Rising.
No. Who are we? We are the two rowdiest vegans ever. All right, so this is something me and Ryuji do all the time, right? Because I'm going to put this on the Two Rowdy Vegans podcast. I wanted this to be a surprise, but I figured, why not? Just let y'all know,
love it.
y'all are going to be on a podcast. And so we're going to feature Nation Rising. We're going to feature the SAVE movement. And so we really want to talk about the great work that both of you are doing.
That's
and how it
awesome.
all came together right here this weekend.
That's awesome.
So
Great.
tell me more about what happened. So last year there was more people.
I think there was more people last year.
There was more people, but because of the rain, because of the cold, obviously, unless you were really committed, unless you're really committed to being here and staying the course, I can see why people wouldn't have come out for that yesterday, or why they would have left.
Changed the date too, which might have affected things.
You changed the date. Yeah, but honestly, y'all, yesterday
bad.
was miserable.
Yeah.
Yes.
And unless you're really dedicated, I saw people leaving.
Really?
Oh yeah, I saw people leaving. And so, yeah, I was watching. I was very attentive to that because some people, they have their kids or whatever, they just can't stay the course.
Yeah.
And, when you think about all the animals out there that are dying in heat and cold, I've seen some of the SAVE vigils where the animals are stuck in the freezing, their skin is stuck to the sides and they're just dead in the truck.
And
right from the
frozen
heat.
in the winter.
Yeah, so tell us about that. I want to know more about that.
Yeah, well, we're out there every week for vigils, and Agnes comes out quite a lot too. Whether it doesn't matter if it's pouring rain or if it's a blizzard, we're out there every week because there's no break for the animals. So we don't take a break either. We're always out
Exactly.
there.
There's no break for the animals.
No,
and
there's
that
no
was my
break.
point.
Yeah.
Is it because there's no break for the animals, there's no break for us either. Okay? So we as activists, when we are having to suffer because of some raindrops and some cold weather, big damn deal, because this is so important. The work that we're doing is so important that we have to continue. We have to press on, press through, because it's so important to get our message across, especially when the weather's like this.
Absolutely. It shows our
Especially.
dedication and our commitment.
And I was so impressed with the production team. I was so impressed with the fact that they had, they had protection over the speakers. They had everything protected over the sound system. Remember me talking about that?
And they donated everything. entirely, the whole thing. 2 years in a row. They're amazing.
That's incredible.
That's the way it should be. It's crowdsourced. That's the way I look at Rancher Advocacy Program is crowdsourced. You know, everything we do, we have a Rancher Advocacy Coalition, and everybody participates professional on a professional level at no charge to us.
Yeah, it's
which
amazing.
Is amazing. So, so let's switch gears for a minute and talk about next year.
All right.
Do you have any ideas for next year already?
Darlene is already planning. We said at the end, we're like, okay, we get 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks to chill.
2 week chill.
Darlene, the next morning, we need this next year. We need this. We should do this. We should. Yes, Darlene.
So it's already.
She's already starting, which is great. She's amazing.
You need to do that.
Yes, set
right?
the date and plan bigger and better things, and yeah, absolutely.
So, what kind of questions do y'all have? You know, we've talked a little bit about the Rancher Advocacy Program.
Yes, I was going to ask you about that.
Do you have any questions for me?
I'm not exactly sure how that works, so maybe you can tell us a bit about it. But the RAP, is that?
How it works?
Yes.
Well, you know, I was talking to, I was talking to Ray a little bit about it a while ago when we were waiting on you guys, and it was, you know, here. The government has to take care of, if government subsidies happen to take care of farms transitioning, who's going to be the one to tell the government how to do it? See, this is who we are. RAP is that force. And so if, you know, we also are appealing to the government in the United States. So we've got the Vegan Justice League, President Connie Spence, who has also started the Agricultural Fairness Alliance. It's a C4. Laura Reese is also on the board. I've been asked to join the board. But what we're doing is we are appealing to the United States Congress. Laura went there for 3 weeks and talked to all the staffers, explaining what the Rancher Advocacy Program is, what we're wanting to do to transition farmers, educating the staffers on why it's so important to talk to, you know, the constituents, how they will be heroes to their constituents if they offer them a program that gets them away from chicken farming into plant-based farming, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they would be a hero. No farmer wants to stand around in chicken manure, chicken urine, you know, with chickens upside down with their legs flopping around, dead, dying. No farm, that is not farming. I'm sorry, you know, that is not farming. That is a death sentence. That is just dealing with the devil, in my opinion. You know, when you are confining 36,000 chickens in a 20,000 square foot shed, and you're doing that, you know, over and over and over and over, that isn't farming. That's horrible. No real farmer says, oh, you know what? I think I want to do that, right?
Yeah, they get
so,
stuck.
So what we are is we are that middle person. We're saying, hey, okay, you don't have to do this anymore. We used to be farmers. We used to, you know, we weren't like great big, you know, farmers, but we were farmers. Mm-hmm. My husband's a multi-generational cattle rancher. And, you know, whenever I went vegan, and, you know, y'all know the story. And if you don't know the story, you know, look it up. It's you can find it. But whenever I went vegan and my husband followed suit, other farmers, their families started contacting me. It was a very genuine outreach of folks contacting me. And so as a result, the Rancher Advocacy Program was born. Incredible. And I started creating questionnaires. There's a rancher intake form on our website. You can join the coalition to help us. We ask a ton of questions on the rancher intake form to find out how much money the ranchers need to make, what kind of debt they have, because every ranch is going to be different, what kind of topography their soil has, what kind of challenges their soil has. We get a veganic agriculture expert involved. His name is Greg Lattis. And he helps us determine, you know, what needs to be remediated in the soil, so that if they do want to do something other than farm animals, what can be done.
Right.
We have, I mean, the way it's organized is just unbelievable to me, because I have so many people that are helping. You know, and
it's
so
incredible.
The government is going to have a team like this.
Yep.
To help them.
Yep. All of those things. Do all of those things.
And that's why I think Nation Rising is so important, because it's not just about taking away subsidies and hurting farmers. It's about switching the subsidies and helping farmers, right? To
Exactly.
transition.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
it's so
an important piece of the puzzle,
Yeah,
right?
it is.
Because otherwise, it doesn't really work. You can't just tell them to stop. Nobody's going to stop.
No,
But
and it's going to hurt.
the
people.
transitioning is possible, and it's
Yeah.
necessary.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very necessary in our times. And that's what, whenever Laura went to Capitol Hill in the United States, that's one of the things that she really stressed was, about the subsidies being transitioned over to.
Yeah.
For us, it's veganic farming because y'all, let me just tell you right now, organic is not vegan. And so if we're going to step up and really, hey, I know it may sound like a stretch, but whenever you're buying organic produce, whenever I'm buying organic produce, I am buying produce that was grown with manure, that was probably shipped from a CAFO.
Oh,
That's where they get it.
yeah. That's horrible.
It's not vegan. And we think we're doing so good. But, we have to start, again, being educated, right? We don't know these things. Just like I used to didn't know that white sugar wasn't vegan. We have to start, going, let's start demanding, veganic instead of organic.
Yes.
What would farmers do if they don't have manure for their crops? What would they use instead?
Well, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
There's a place in Houston. It's called Farm Dirt. You should look it up. And I've been there. It's amazing. They get compost from all
of course.
sorts of grocery stores, right?
Right.
Organic compost. It comes all to them, all sorts of fruits and vegetables, piles and piles and piles of it. They get trees, they get shrubs, they get leaves. You mix all this stuff together. There's this underground system that they use with PVC pipe, and they use these generators, and they create this heat on top of all this organic matter,
Right.
veganic matter,
Right.
and then they create this veganic compost out of fruits, vegetables, leaves, trees,
Right.
shrubs.
And there's lots of
Amazing.
it that goes to waste now, so that would work, right? So much
And,
produce
and they're
goes
doing
to
this in
waste.
Houston.
Right.
Wow.
There's this place called Farm
That's
Dirt
amazing.
in
Wow.
Houston, Texas.
Amazing.
For real. And so we are, all of the farms that work with us have to be veganic, not organic. That's our part of our model.
That's amazing. Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah. So, we've got the 3 farms right now that we're working with. The Barrett Family Farm, which is in Wicks, Arkansas. Former chicken farmers and cattle ranchers that are going to be a mushroom farm. To date, this project has cost us, through our funder, over $500,000.
Wow. For this one farm? For
One farm.
The mushroom one. Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Because they were contracted with big chicken producers. And when they got out of the business, they had all of this debt. We've had to help them with all of this debt.
Wow.
We've had to basically go in and do a second mortgage to help them.
Right.
And it's been very rigorous, it's been very tedious. I could not have done it without our amazing team. Greg Lightus is our organic expert. Paul Berry is our project manager, and he's also on our board of directors. Jody Rash is our, he's the guy that, kind of consults with us on their finances. And then we have just Jerry Devereaux involved. We have Ananda Bhavani. We have her sister Lonnie. We have so many awesome people that are helping us transition these farms. So there's the Barrett Family Farm. There's Starlove Ranch in Giddings, Texas. That used to be a 6th generation family farm. And now, they are vegan, and we're working with them right now.
What do they grow? No, not mushrooms.
They're not. Well, they're going to be growing. They're going to have a 1-acre veganic plot, and they're going to do vegan weddings. They're going to have.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're going to do a wedding venue, and they've got follow Starlove Ranch.
Okay.
You'll see them on Facebook and on Instagram. And then there's another family that's not vegan yet. They're the Trailers, and they're in Huntsville, Texas. And wow, you can see a lot of amazing content because me and Ryuji actually went there and interviewed these farmers and got some real candid look into the back door of what farmers think. and what they
that's
go
important.
through.
It's
Yeah.
important. Do you think there's a lot of animal farmers that would be interested in switching over to plant farming?
There is more people interested than we can keep up with.
Really?
Yes.
That's
I
amazing.
Yeah,
never would have thought that.
Oh yeah, there's more people. I mean, I wish we had more money. I wish we had more people involved that could help me do all these assessments because, like I have a farm in North Carolina right now that I need to fly to and do an assessment, another chicken farm. I have a farm in Alabama, and there's another farm that's in where was it? I can't remember where it's at, but it's probably not going to be doable at all because of the soil. There's a real need. I have never had to advertise, not once.
And you're just
for
one
this.
person with all of these people.
Yes.
We need more.
So we need subsidies
And government.
in Canada
We
and the
need
US.
subsidies.
Yeah.
That's why I was so glad I was asked to come here.
Yeah.
It's because I think it's so important to ally, to bring our energies together.
Totally.
And I'm excited about the future and what's going on in Toronto in August.
Oh, we have the Animal Rights Conference coming up. I've forgotten the date. I think it's the 14th.
16th, 17th,
18th.
18th, because
Yes.
I know, because I can't come on the 17th because I'll be in Dallas. But
And Jenny and I are both on the March committee, so we're going to be running the Animal Rights March
Animal
through
Rights
Toronto.
March in Toronto.
Yeah.
oh, really?
Yeah,
And,
it's going to be amazing.
We'll hope
And-
it's the biggest ever.
and
that we've
Agnes
ever
is
had.
going to be involved, right?
Oh, yes.
Agnes, come around here and
Agnes
say
will be
hello, will you? What about our friend back here? Where is she?
The extras, you mean?
Rose.
The extras?
Rose. Yeah, Rose is going to be involved. And so tell us a little bit more because y'all asked me to come. So if I do come, I'll be
Yeah.
doing
Oh, yes,
a workshop
yeah.
on how to talk to cattle farmers,
that's
chicken
amazing.
farmers, and cowboys.
Yeah, so there's going to be workshops for all weekend long. We're going to have actions happening. And then right in the middle of it, we're going to have the march through downtown Toronto. So we're hoping thousands of people.
Yes.
That's our goal.
Yes, and a big action at the end.
Yeah, big action.
Now,
at
what
the
day
end.
is the march on?
It's the 17th of August.
the
It's a
day.
Saturday, I think.
It is, yeah.
I'll be in Dallas.
Oh.
But I'm so glad to be in Dallas because Dallas, is where my friend Kat Mendenhall lives, and she's the one that makes the vegan cowgirl boots that I love so much. Yeah, everybody has to know about Kat Mendenhall because her boots are amazing. I met Kat at the very first ever conference I did where I was a vendor. It was in Marshall, Texas,
Right.
and I was really kind of like mourning the loss of my cowboy boots. I was mourning. I had a collection of leather boots, all kinds.
And you just got rid of them?
Oh yeah, I had just gotten rid of them. I was mourning the loss of them because I wore them to bed. I mean, I love boots. I wear them all the time, and if I'm not wearing, I'm wearing these. But and so I was at this conference, and Kat Mendenhall, when y'all meet her, y'all will love her. She was right next to me. She comes from a cattle ranching family. In fact, she's on our rancher advisory committee. She's one of our coalition members, and she had all these boots, and I was like, I just died and gone to heaven. There was all these vegan boots, red, black, white, blue, and all handmade boots.
So you have every color, yeah?
Yeah, she's kept me pretty stocked up,
Nice.
and for good reason.
I noticed you were matching yesterday. The red boots and the red and black and the white pants.
Yeah, I like that. I like to match up with my boots. But anyway, that's Kat. So,
Oh, that's so amazing.
so what else? Have we forgotten anything? Anything else that you'd like to?
We're going to get Renee into politics, right?
Yes, yes, definitely.
Me into politics? I am no politician.
That doesn't matter. We're going to get you in there.
We're definitely going to need to learn from you as
Yes.
we try to expand Nation Rising to start to tackle the part where we're helping farmers transition, and we're trying to get the government to start these transition programs and learning about what that entails and how we can make that happen and how we can explain to them why it's necessary and what all of the pieces will look like and what that transition will look like. So so that will.
You know what could happen? This just occurred to me as I heard you talking. What could happen is we could actually use RAP and the Agricultural Fairness Alliance (AFA). We could consult with Nation Rising and figure out how to bring a Canadian wrap force.
Oh, wouldn't that be
That would be
incredible?
amazing. Oh my God.
Huh?
Yeah, totally amazing.
I mean, one of the things we're going to be doing is the wrap evolve. You know, we're going to be teaching a new form of activism that's going to be in cell barns, and that is going to include being able to really talk to the folks that own cell barns. You'll have to know how to go in there and speak to them, and we're actually going to go in there and talk to the farmers and say, okay, so if you're wanting to, you know, if there's an animal here that maybe needs help, maybe you don't want to send it through the slaughter line,
Right.
then, you know, we can help you find a home for it. Maybe it's diseased or sick or a broken leg.
I'm sure sometimes farmers become attached to certain animals.
They
too, don't
always
they?
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really do. There are some that they do get attached to. And then maybe the other thing that could happen is which we're going to all be wearing badges, and we're going to make sure they know that if there's any farmers there that want to transition to plant-based farming, that they can call us, and we'd be happy to set up an
Yes.
interview.
This is the thing that we're missing. So
Yes.
we need something on our website or something that identifies us to let farmers know that, hey, you know, like we want to help you transition. You said you have farmers reaching out to you all the time. We want that to be happening in Canada too. That's not yet happening here.
And
So
let the farmers know that we're on their
we're
side.
on your side, and we want to help you with that transition. Yeah.
But see, the reason why it's difficult is because the farmers need to talk to other farmers.
Yes, 100%.
You know, they have to talk to recovering farmers.
Yes, we need a recovering farmer here. We have one.
Who?
Remember that
Mike.
beef? That beef?
Mike, you know, from
Farmhouse.
Farmhouse.
Yeah.
Well,
Farmhouse.
I've talked to
Close to
him.
it.
Yeah.
I have talked to him. In fact, he needs to get on our RAP advisory committee. If he can get on our RAP advisory committee,
Let's make
then
that happen.
let's make that happen.
Yes.
We get him on our RAP advisory
then he could
committee.
be our Canadian
Then he then
version.
could feed into all of the
Yes.
the contacts we have, all the sources we have, and we could evolutionize Canada with RAP.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
It's a wrap. Peace out from Rowdy Girl. Let's keep it rowdy. We are the two rowdy vegans. Well, I'm one rowdy vegan. Ryuji is the other half. He's up somewhere. He's flying from here to there to everywhere. But we are the two rowdy vegans, and these are my two friends, Jenny and Louise. Peace.